Sometimes lambs are just gone and we don't know what happened. That'll do. So we're gonna see if this unit works. You are younger than me, girl. Cute, aren't they? Lies.
Yeah.
Morning, guys. I done screwed up last night. I picked up some milk replacer after I dropped off my lambs, put it in the back of the trailer, forgot to take it out of the trailer, and it poured. Oh, I think it stayed dry. Oh, I got lucky. Real lucky. Okay, well, I'm gonna grab something to grab those. We have Charlie coming. He's on his way. We are going to shear today. I know you guys like shearing day. I love shearing day. And we are actually a week later than I wanted to do it, partly because I was in the fields, and the other reason is Charlie's really busy. So between my schedule and his schedule, it's just hard to lock us both down. So we've been texting for probably, I don't know, the last 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, it's looking like this is the week that will work. You text me or I'll text you and we'll figure it out. Thanks for help, boys. Well, a little bad news. We have our first loss, our first lamb out of this group, out of this September group, which is actually really quite good. I know people don't want to know this, but lambs do die for one reason or another. So I've been texting my vet with lots of pictures. I did open up this lamb. So I took out the lungs of the lamb, the heart of the lamb, the kidney, and the liver, and I took pictures and showed Rex. And he said, I said right away, last week we saw this lamb breathing really hard and kind of laying over on his own against the wall. So Carissa spotted it, treated it with Restflor, and then I came in and looked at it. I didn't know she treated it, and I said, okay, go grab the Restflor. She goes, I already did. So she treated it right. Diagnosed it right, actually, and then she treated again this weekend because she said, again, running around, acting like a lamb, but breathing really heavy. So it was treated, he was treated twice, and she found him not alive this morning. So I'm like, I want to know what pneumonia actually looks like and take pictures so then I can refer to it if a lamb goes down again because of the same thing. I can go through my text with Rex and see the pictures that we've sent each other. So I will, I'll just attach the pictures here as to what that looked like, and hopefully that won't get flagged by YouTube. I won't show the lamb because it's kind of a little bit kind of cut open here for the postmortem. So anyway, that was kind of sad, but we're learning lots, and that's the only one we've seen so far. And we haven't had pneumonia. Have we had pneumonia in this barn and that we know of? We haven't treated for it. Sometimes lambs are just gone and we don't know what happened, but breathing is a pretty easy thing to see because they really labor. So that's kind of a shame. It was a nice single Rito, really nice looking lamb. Okay, that's this morning's excitement. Taking this to get washed tomorrow. Get it out of the barn. Yeah. Hello. Just a sec. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Can you see me? All right. Say hi, Jerry.
How's it going? Oh, pretty slow. Just getting back into it.
It's his first day back.
No way.
So you're a legend. He's a legend.
Yeah.
I say they have a lot of real estate.
Yeah. Just pure stubbornness, actually. My old man told me I was never going to be a shearer, and picked it up. I couldn't get a shear for my own sheep, so I just, when I was a kid, I did, 10 to 20 a day after school, and then after a couple of years, your neighbors come by and they say, "Who sheared your sheep?" I said, "Well, I didn't." And started putting that on the internet, and now I'm all over Ontario. Yeah.
Shearing for me is probably number one.
No, I don't know about that.
We have to do that. COVID is over. You have to come. Alright, I will let you go, but I wanted to surprise Charlie.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yep.
Bye.
Yep. Oh, that's wild.
That was what I was thinking. Also at 3:30 this morning.
What time is it over there?
I had the camera totally at our backs. So I surprised Charlie with Cammy, because Cammy is Charlie's favorite YouTuber. Favorite sheep YouTuber. I don't take it too personally.
I don't even go on YouTube unless I'm watching a new sheep game episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, why watch my episodes would just be with you in it.
Either that or the Wiggles.
Or the Wiggles. I'm kind of a close second.
That one is cinnamon. Cinnamon. She's spicy.
She's actually not.
Hi, Cindy.
Cinnamon, that reminds me of the Step Brothers.
Oh my goodness.
The neighbor.
Yes.
Heal, Cinnamon, heal!
It's been a hot minute since I saw that. I don't even know if I've seen the whole movie.
Oh,
I
God.
think I fell asleep.
Mind if I come by later and touch your face?
Can I come over this afternoon and touch your face?
Good girl. Big sheep. All right, Charlie is gone. We had a really good day. He kept thanking me for our little phone call with Cammy. He adores him. He says his kids really like Cammy, so yeah, I think he was tickled. I have just finished cleaning up. It takes so long to set up and tear down on a day like this. So I'm just gonna quickly feed these guys because they haven't been fed since yesterday morning. We try to keep them fairly empty of feed as much as we can, just so they're not uncomfortable. It can be dangerous for them, it can be dangerous for Charlie, so we just tend to not feed them the day before. But they have to be fed now. They're pretty loud. They're gonna be very loud. Morning, guys. This is why I come to my office first thing, because I was about to take my wool to get washed. Check my planner. I'm like, dude, you gotta vaccinate your ewe lambs. So we are doing our booster vaccine for those lambs across the road from the June group that I decided to keep back. If you remember, I didn't love that auto doser. You guys had a ton of good ideas, but I had a better idea from a viewer, actually maybe a follower on Instagram, and she had recommended the Prima auto doser. So I'm gonna try this. It looks a little more like there's more parts to it. So I'm thinking this might not work with this bottle though, because yeah, so I don't think that's for that. I'm thinking that should work. So she said these ones, actually, she thinks part of my problem with the Alltech one was the bottle wasn't seating really good. And she said these are really good at seating. It's got a little washer in there. I call them washers. Is that what they're called? So let's read the instructions. There's a lot of parts. So I don't do well with that. It's looking like IKEA. Okay, we have everything ready to go, and I have this in this Prima. So we're gonna see if this unit works. Let's call it booster back. Okay, I'll get the paint. The activities, glam back. And that's it? Oh, it's not much easier. You paint? Or do you want me to paint as I go? See how this works. I don't have my doubts. So far, so good. 2 for 2. Hey, little one. Like so paranoid I'm not holding it right now. Sorry. You guys got burrs on your wool. Must be the straw. Where are you going? So far so good, guys. No misfire.
You did do the last one.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. Uh-oh. We're gonna need more paint. What if you do this? Oh, there we go. So we got the gun working, and now our paint doesn't work. And we did that. 100%. Watch us struggle getting over. You are younger than me, girl. Follow that one. Good morning. Hi. Hello, Big Mom. Hi, Big Mom. Did it rain? Yeah. So well behaved now. This. Good. Here we go. Well, for the first time this morning, I saw my ewes back here. They finally found my hay that has been sitting here since the first day I put them in here. So they've actually been nibbling at it. It is a cold morning, so maybe they're just kind of steering clear of the door. They also have a wool coat, so. Well, this was a godsend today, so I can't remember the girl's name that suggested this, but they weren't cheap. Yeah, Prima is the name, and I got this was a 2 mil, because Glamvac's only a 1 mil dose. And this was a 6 mil dose. There's not too many I would have to use this for, but yeah, so I'm glad that worked. I think there was only one minor little misfire. It was more of an air bubble that I just wasn't entirely sure it was a complete 1 mil. But yeah, recommend. That's a wagon full of wool. That'll do. I'm just at the wool washing place. I really want to take footage of their machines here because it's so cool. Everything's working right now, but the owner wasn't here, and I don't like just asking the workers, hey, can I just take some video of this stuff working? Just because it's inconsiderate, and I think you should always talk to the owner before entry or taking video. Anyway, I thought you guys would be interested. I'm trying to see how many pounds we had here. This is the total weights for all the bags. We had 140 pounds, 194 pounds, 348 pounds, that was 2 bags, 298 pounds, which was 2 bags. So that's a lot of wool. And usually when you wash it, you get about half, I think, when it's all said and done. So we'll see when I pick this up, whenever that will be. Sometimes they're really quick. And then we'll see what the net is. Actually, he usually writes it down for me. But it's interesting after you wash wool how much shrink there is, which we all know because I know I'm not the only one that shrunk a wool shirt before. Oh, we got a full house. Mark, where am I gonna put my wool? He didn't want my black wool. There's not enough of it. So we are gonna take the Khmer clothes of the girls, and they can wash it in their little washer. It'll be fine. But someone filled up my container with parts of a bin. Well, we just got home from taking that wool into town. I just about got clocked by a car that looked right but forgot that there was a left as well, and I happened to be right on the left. So he got a little beep beep. And also every item of anything in my truck in the back is now in the front. So that kick-started the old heart. Woo! And I was like kind of sleepy, so that woke me up. I'm glad I was awake enough to see that. So yeah, that wool. Today's been a big kind of awakening for me. I have not been sleeping well this week, and I think it's because this wool was destined to be felted, which is totally different for me. There's a company in Mississauga that I have been in contact with, probably like 4 or 5 months ago. And we had it kind of all lined up when I had enough wool, which they need 500 pounds of washed wool for a minimum order, which is a lot. That's like 2 shearings for me, which is, you know, almost a half a year's worth. This morning I woke up and I woke up many, many times over the last 2 nights. And I think it's because like today I'm taking my wool to get washed and it's starting the process. And I sat with Mark this morning at breakfast and I'm like, I just don't have a good vibe about this yet. Like no one's really asked me about felted stuff, like felted items, like household products or like a little tote bag or storage bin or something like that. That's kind of what I had in my brain. And he's like, start with one thing. And I said, yeah, but 500 pounds is a lot for one thing if the one thing isn't what people want. He's like, yeah, you're right. I said, I think I'm going to ask you guys, and I'm going to ask my Instagram community there. I'm glad I did, because it was not a resounding yes. There was probably 50% of the people said no, we wouldn't buy it. Half of them didn't even know what felted wool was or even what the products look like. So I'm glad I did that, because the problem with the stuff that I do is I've got a lot of hands that need to be involved in these things, because I farm. So I don't have a wool mill. I don't have a wool washer. So there's quite a few steps before you guys get an actual product at the end. And for me to make it worth everybody needs to make a little bit of money on the specific products. And by the time this thing was done, I just didn't want the final product to be way past a decent price point for you guys. So I think I'm going to sit on this. I think I'm going to put it on the back burner. I think I'm going to get a few more samples from the felt store out of Mississauga. And I found a really nice couple really close to here that was going to kind of work away at the sewing part if we were going to actually make something from felted wool. So maybe in the new year, I'll grab some samples. I'll just buy some samples and let them kind of work with stuff, and then make some samples and show you guys and say, hey, is this something that we should try and figure out how much the whole process would cost, I think, before I get too deep into it. I just didn't want to dedicate that whole lot of wool for something that might fall flat, when I know darn well you guys love the wool. Like the wool, the story behind the wool, the different colors, the different themes for every season. I know you guys like that, and I love it. I love coming up with stuff and being creative that way. So, and the girls at Mariposa are just so phenomenal that I have a hard time working with other people. So I think for now we're gonna keep it the way it is, and I can focus all my energy and my creativity on the crafty wool side. And then when it comes to actual products, maybe I'll stew about that for the next year. It's just what I do. Anyway, that was today's adventure. I think it's time to see some sheep. Cute, aren't they? Flies.
Don't let them show that I like them.